Hi guys, this video is about point to point in Selenium. So first of all, we have multiple chapters in this. So first I will be talking about simple Selenium introduction, you can say. What is Selenium? Selenium is an open source automation testing tool. So Selenium is a testing tool that is open source. Open source means it is free, and automation is that you need not to test everything manually. You have a automation tool, that is Selenium. Now where we have to use this Selenium automation tool? So we have to use in the application which are web based. What is web based? Web based means that the application which can run on browser. So first of all, we have a laptop, so it will have operating system. Okay, so in the laptop, in operating system, so it supports multiple operating system, and this laptop will have operating system. Inside operating system will have multiple browser. So that also Selenium support multiple browser, and we have to write Selenium code to automate. So it supports multiple programming language. So in short, I will be telling you Selenium is open source, means free automation testing tool used for web-based application, means it can run on any application which runs on a browser. It support multiple operating system, multiple programming language, and multiple browsers. Okay, so now, like, which operating system Selenium support, or you can say instead of operating system, which platform Selenium support, like Windows, Mac, Linux, Solaris. Okay, and which language, programming language does Selenium support, like Java, CH, Ruby, Perl, Python, PHP, and JavaScript. Now, which browser Selenium supports? Like Microsoft Edge, Firefox, Chrome, Safari. So this is all about like introduction, basic. You should have a knowledge of this to get understanding of Selenium. Now we will move to an architecture, which is a very important topic of interview. So in this we have one diagram. By using diagram is better to explain to an interviewer. Okay, so first of all we have Selenium client library, which means we have a editor in which we can give an example of eclipse, and we are writing code in Selenium, code in Java language, so we can give a language. So this is Selenium client library. Now this library, and we have a real browser. Okay, these two are main thing, means a client and server model it follows. So like, now real browser have their browser driver, means if you are running the application in Chrome, we have to go and download Chrome driver. Okay, so Chrome driver to download for Chrome browser. For real browser we have to download browser driver. Okay, and everything goes in with the HTTP request. HTTP protocol. Okay, and here everything is converted to JSON format. So when you are going to explain this to an interview, you just say, like, after writing our code of Selenium using any programming language, for example Java, and use editor like Eclipse, This is our Selenium client code, which is converted into JSON format, and that JSON format is sent to the browser driver, that is our like server, through HTTP protocol. And please tell, like, each browser contains a separate browser driver. Browser driver communicate its respective browser and execute the command by interpreting JSON. Browser driver receive back from the browser and it send JSON response back to the client. Okay, so browser driver here receive response back from the browser, and that response is that like JSON response is sent back to the client, where you can see your output. Okay, now in the basic thing, for what should you know, like how to download or install Java. So how you will download? You have to open like Oracle link, where you have a download option, where you will see, like, as per your laptop configuration, you will see the link of the like x68 installer, or you have to first click on the Windows. If you the laptop configuration is Windows, operating system is Windows, you have to click, and then you have to like search, like, if 32-bit or 64-bit. If it is 64-bit, then you have to click of x64 installer, and there will be download link, you have to click it, and it will take some time, it will download, and you have to save it in some folder. Okay, when your downloaded exe is ready, then you have to click next, next again, next, and then you have to click on close, and then you have to like click, you have to set the environment variable after download. Okay, after downloading and installing the Java, you have to edit your environment variable. Okay, you can write on the like clicking on the star, you can write environment variable, and you will environment variable one system properties pop-up will open, and you have to click on the environment variable. Then you have to create a Java underscore home. Okay, where you have to give the folder name of Java, whatever version of SDK you have done, have to go till bin, and you have to paste here. After that, you need to verify that Java is installed successfully or not. So you have to open your command prompt and type Java hyphen version. So you will get the Java version which is installed. So this is the main thing you have to, first of all, like, for writing this code in Selenium using Java programming language, how you have to download Java, I have told you. Now we need Eclipse to write the code, means editor. So you have to open an eclipse.org, then there will be some download link. Then as per your laptop configuration, you will have like 64-bit link, you have to click, then download button, then you have to save it, and then you will download one exe. Now you have to install it. Okay, after installing, there will be launch button, you have to open it, and then you have to browse your Eclipse workspace where your project will be saved. Okay, default will be given, but there will be a browse option, you can click on that and you can open it. And like, if you have 2 or 3 workspaces, if you have previously worked, then click on the drop down button, you will able to select it, and then you can click on launch. Now, like, you have to click on file, new project, you have to select Java project in that. Okay, and then you have to click on the project name, you have to put. Okay, and then finish, so your project will ready. Okay, and now in src folder, you have to give a package, whatever package name you want, you can give it and finish. Okay, after that, you in package you should have a classes, Java classes. So right click on the package, new class, and enter the your class name and finish. Now it is available, like class will be available. Now you can write any code, like I'm just writing system.out.println and hello to print in console. Okay, so this always come under the main code, like public static void main string args, and inside the system.printout ln hello. Ln is used for new line. If you want to print in the old line, just write system.out.print. Okay, so like this you can check that how the code will come give result in the console. Okay, now some basic rules which we follow in our code, like we call it naming conventions. Okay, so when we write a class name, okay, the first letter should be capital and rest all small. Okay, now when we write interface name, okay, the first letter should be capital, rest all small. And when we write package name, all letters should be small. Like method name and variable name, first letter should be small, but the second word of that, like you can give mouse pad, then second letter should be like M is small, mouse full small, and in pad P is capital. So in this we call it as a camel case. So in variable name and in method name we follow camel case. And there you should know some shortcuts of eclipse. So control plus shift plus F is used for format source code, okay, in Windows. Control shift O is like if anything like coming in red, and because you have not imported the package, okay, so you have to click control plus shift plus O to organize the imports. Okay, in Windows, control M is for maximizing your editor view. Okay, in Windows, control S is to save your data or code in Windows. So you can use that. And now you should know the debug in Eclipse, how we debug. So first of all, we right click on the left corner of the line of code. Okay, now there will be one option will be available like toggle breakpoint. We have to click on it. Then we right click on the project which is under package explorer and click on the debug as Java application. So now your code will run in debug mode and some perspective will change of your Eclipse. Okay, now how you have to debug? We have to use F5, F6, F7, F8. 4 keys we should use. If F5, F6, F7, F8 is not working in your laptops, then you can select like Fn plus F5, Fn plus F6, Fn plus F7, Fn plus F8. Then it will work. Okay. Now for F5, like it is in step into, it means step into, means we have to go inside that line of code. F6 is step out, step over, we can say go to the next line and execute the current line, means step over. F7 is like go back to the previous debug point, not the previous line, it is previous debug point where you have put. Okay, F8 is to resume the debug or execution normally until it hits the next breakpoint. If no breakpoint, then it will end, it will stop the debug. Okay, so you got it about Selenium introduction, architecture. Okay, download install Java, download Eclipse, naming convention in Java, debug format in Java. This is the main thing, which is the basic also you can say. main thing that you should know and understand. Okay, so now what we have to do? Now there's a very big topic about locators. Okay, like what we have to do with the locator, what locators means in Selenium. Okay, we should know each and every detail of it. Like the first of all, we will get to know like what is locator. So locators are used to identify and navigate web elements on a web page. Once an element is found, we can perform various actions like clicking, typing, selecting. Locators also verify that element is presence, absence, visibility on a web page. Like locators are main powerful tool in Selenium. Like very important part or of any testing. Okay, to understand the locator is very helpful to survive in this technology. Okay, because we can automate repetitive time consuming tasks in this. Okay, so locators are used to automate the testing process. Okay, automating testing is using tool to automate repetitive and time consuming tasks. The process of locating and interacting with web elements on web page. So now we will learn about different types of locator like ID, name, class name, tag name, link test, partial link test, CSS selector, XPath. Okay. Now what is the ID locator? Like ID is to find an element using its unique ID. Okay. It is the fastest and most reliable way to locate an element. Ideally, when the ID of an element is unique on the page. If we get a chance to automate, okay, so if we have the ID of that like button, then we always prefer ID at the top at the first element. Okay, if ID is not there, then we search for name. Name locator is used to find an element using its name attribute. Name attribute may not be unique, but is commonly used to identify element. If ID is not there, then we use name. And when ID and name both are not there, then we use class name. Used to find an element using its class name. Multiple element can have the same class name, but it is still reliable to locate elements. Okay, like there's a select class is also there. That is very important class. Okay, now we have like tag name locator. Like tag name is used to using in its HTML tag name we use. Like I have told you in before lectures, A we use for anchor. Okay, useful when one element has a particular tag name. It is useful when only one element has a particular tag name. Now we will move to link text locator. It is used to find an anchor element a tag with a specific link text. Okay. Mainly it is used to identify links on a web page. Partial link text locator is used to find an anchor element with a partial link. Means used to identify links with a similar or familiar patterns. And CSS selector locator is used to identify element using CSS selector, like defining a style of element on a web page. And XPath locator is used to identify element using XPath expression. XPath is a language used to navigate through XML document. So in locators, like id is there, okay, matched by the element id. For example, any tag like button id equal to submit is there, then we have to write driver dot element find ele- driver dot find element by dot id, and then you have to give this id. Okay, now like there's a name, then driver dot find element by name, and then its name you have to give. Okay, and how it is written, button dot name equal to submit. Okay, in class, how it is given, like in HTML, like button class equal to button one. Okay, like how you have to write driver dot find element by class name, and now we have to give class name whatever the class name was in HTML. In link test, like how it is given in HTML, A for anchor, harif, and then the link is given. Okay, so how we will have to write driver dot find element by link text, and then we have to give the link of it. Okay, like a whatever the name is given. Okay, if like it is given click a, then you have to write click a. Partial link text, like you have some partial thing, like okay, so a harif, and then some link is given and some name is given, like link b. So we can give here like driver dot find I by partial link text b, we can give in the value. Now tag name also I have told. Now css selector and next one, like cs selector, like button class name submit one is given. Now we have to write driver dot element, now class is given, so we have to use dot class name whatever the class name. And in xpath, like html is given button and class name, then double slash button, then square bracket open, then at the rate class, and then we have to write its name. Okay, so this in this way we will able to able to do all the locators. Okay, now what we have to do, when you get to know about locators, now in Selenium 4 there are relative locators also present. Okay, in above, below, to right of, to left of, near. Sometimes we use it, really we don't use it, but as this is a new topic, so we should have a knowledge about, and this is a very important question in an interview. Okay, so how we have to write that, like driver equal to new chrome driver, which is our driver which we have downloaded, and then we have to give the web element 1 and its id. Okay, which I have to like browser dot find element by id submit one, and then driver dot find element relative locator dot with then you have to simply have to give the id. Okay, then dot above. Okay, if some above locator we have to try, then dot above. Below, then dot below. If it is to right of, then dot to right of. If it is to left of, then you have to write to left of. And if it is near, we have to write dot near. Then we can give element. Okay, now you see how it goes. Okay, so there are multiple XPath syntax which we follow. So we have some regular expression. Regular expression means we will be using contains, start with and end with in our XPath, like double slash tag name, contains attribute and then is value, then attribute, then is value, then attribute, then is value. Means start with, means some text is there, then we use like at the rate, like name we can give, and start with this character. Okay, and so also you can give like this attribute and then its value. And we follow child parent to child concept in this in XPath. Okay, I and we have majorly we use hash, tag name, at the rate attribute and its value, tag name text if which we have, then we use that. Okay, following sibling we use, parent we use. Okay, and simple parent to child full concept we use, index we use. Okay, all this we use in our XPath locators. Okay, same things are there but syntax are different in CSS selectors. Okay, in CSS selector what we do, like tag name dot class name, where we have class name, then we that it with dot tag name dot class name, and tag name is optional, and tag name dot hash name where we have id. Okay, tag name is optional, tag name attribute is value. We use parent to child concept here. We have some regular expressions also here, like tag name attribute and start and then value, like some values like abc 123, it is dynamic, so we have to like in value we have to like abc, then it will work. Okay, majorly if anything does not work then we use XPath. Okay, so today we have covered like introduction, architecture, download Eclipse, debug format in Eclipse, naming convention, download install Java, locators, locator examples also have given, relative locators also, XPath, syntax, CSS. These are very main topic interview in interview. What questions are asked like architecture is asked, is a very important question of the interview, and naming conventions also they check when they have given you some code to write, then they see your naming convention you know or not. So the debug also they ask like how you debug. Okay, and locators they ask only all the they will give them different situations, and they will ask you the to write the XPath or CSS. So first they will ask like which will be the first one you will choose from locators. So id will be the first one which will be choosing. If id is not there, then name, and a name is not there, then class name. Like this you have to tell. Different type of XPath syntax they will be asking you, giving you different situations. And why like CSS selector also, if you use XPath then they will ask like why you have not used CSS selector. So these types of question they will ask you. And little bit about Selenium, any newly added language in Selenium. So JavaScript, that is the language. So there are some s- small things they will ask you. I'm giving you the brief idea like how you have to learn each and everything, and you have to like have knowledge of everything whichever I tell you. These all things will be asked by the interviewer. Okay, XBAS syntax are very important, CSS syntax are very important. Okay, and one more topic is left like relative and absolute path, XPath in Selenium. So what is it actually? Relative is like referencing specific element to the desired element, and it starts with single slash. So this is a interview question that will be asked. Okay, an absolute path, it is a complete path from root to desired element. And in start with double slash, they will ask you the question like what is the difference, which I've told you what is the difference. Okay, now they will ask you which you will prefer to use it. So we will prefer always relative path, not absolute path, because anything change in absolute path na any tag name, then complete absolute path we have to change. So it's better to use relative. So this all types of interview question they will be asking you. Okay, so you should have all the knowledge. Okay, so this is very brief, knowledgeable topics which I can cover to you in this small video. Please do refer it. Okay, before going to into an interview. Okay, so I just want to say thank you. Please like, subscribe, and do share my video. Okay, bye bye.